whole goal with this car has been to build an aluminum Corvette. Somebody might say, well, why would you do that? Corvettes are composite, and Corvettes are this and that and the other. What it is kind of a throwback to some metal craftsmanship and to doing something that hasn't been done. So we're gonna build this entire car, the floor, the outer shell, and the framework, all out of aluminum. We've got the whole structure for the body going together. Just stoked to do it. So, stay tuned.
This has been a dream well before I was in business.
It's gonna take a team. Everybody's expertise, everybody's input.
These cars cannot be displayed, promoted, seen by the public until they arrive at Detroit Autorama.
There's only so many teams that have put these cars together, so it's a great, great, great opportunity.
We'll build a car that nobody has ever seen before. The goal is to build a Ridler.
2.5.
2.5? Well, that's not a big difference, is it?
Visually, it's a lot, but this will give me the line at which I put it in the tipping wheel. Kind of defines where the edge of the wheel well is. So I'm trying to get that little bit of a flare. One smack at a time.
And these are the buck, the structure. Designed it on the computer, and there's just so many pieces, so I had gone through and labeled them, luckily.
I think Kevin's one of those people that would see somebody doing a puzzle and then take one of the pieces so he could be the last person to put the piece in.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm hoping that I can get the body done before I die.
How long does it usually take someone to build a body from scratch?
I don't know. I've never done it.
Oh, yeah.
So the front does have a lot more sweep. It's a little bit more of a longer angle. Something just looks out of place here.
But I mean, this isn't super well defined either. I kind of brought it back in to kind of match the front a little bit. We can flare that guy open a little bit more too. I didn't want to go too far.
We've got a long radius, actually. We've got a long radius here on that lower rocker. I think that it would be a little bit of a too much if we go back quite that far. But this section right here is kind of
I'll smooth this out.
Okay. Jordan and I are kind of working on the wheel openings, and I don't want it like the CF1 where I just radius around the wheels. I want a nice long sweep, but not the same as what the original is.
And I'll get some radiuses on there, make sure it's all pretty close.
Well, like the original, but I want it higher and I want it shorter. I just don't want it sloppy looking. I want to close in but keep a lot of the same style lines. From right here to right here is where we need to be, just almost like just a full,
just a
perfect arch.
Radius.
Right. And then as it gets here, soften it out.
Yeah.
But going back quite that far, I think we need to come back a little bit. So yeah, if we can just get rid of that little flat spot and just have that more flow right there, I think we're in good shape. I don't know. I think it's pretty good actually.
Swoopy?
Swoop.
But tight.
Tight and swoopy.
Tight but swoopy.
Tight and swoopy.
I am trying to accomplish the dream vet. The engine, the whole drivetrain, the suspensions, and the floor. I mean, it's kind of a unibody construction, whereas the frame will be internal of the bottom of the car. The frame won't be exposed to the bottom of the car, so that's a little bit different. We're doing a V12 engine. We're doing a lot with that V12 engine. We're changing around the accessory drives. The drivetrain's very, very wild. We knew that the suspension was gonna tie to the drivetrain, right?
Right.
The whole thing's designed around a full floor.
I think that's the coolest part about it is it's like standing alone, any of those parts, the engine, the structure, or the body do nothing. They would just fall apart by themselves.
Right.
Where I'm at now is I've got a really good shell for the floor, and we need to get it out of the computer and turn it into a real piece. And the way I'm gonna do that is build a fixture. I've been working on this fixture design This is what it looks like after the floor has been removed and we just have the structural pieces. Our wheel wells, the tunnel, and the floor platform itself. This is the next tool we need to build so we can dream of getting this floor done. For the most part, I had the whole fixture laser cut. So it's ultra precise, super strong, super cool. It's gonna tell us every location we need to get the floor done that's gonna work with the body. Then within a couple days, I'll have all the aluminum, which is also laser cut. We should pretty well be able to just tip the edges up of each of the pieces because they're all gonna come together at a radius, but lay on here and fixture up and hopefully go together really fast, which will make us all happy because we're definitely pressed for time at this point. Once we have this floor all constructed, we actually have basically a frame superstructure, which is all 3/8 aluminum plate. It should basically puzzle together very much like this fixture. That creates the frame inside. We're basically building a unibody car with a superstructure frame inside it. So this car should be so ultra rigid, which is good because this engine's gonna be just produce a lot of torque, and we'll wanna twist a little aluminum car up. It should be super strong. Okay, I'm just trying to sort out what the hell piece is this? So the trick about the Ridler is, I mean, a lot of different stuff has won. It's not the Grand National Roadster Show. It doesn't have to be a particular car. It just has to be an excellent car. All we can do is cross our fingers and put our best foot forward, and then we'll see when that day comes. It all comes down, if you put your best foot forward, that's where the payoff is. And if it's not your day, you do your damnedest to appreciate who might have bested you. And then you try to learn from that. And then you find them in the parking lot and you steal their hamburger. Because nobody's going home with my lunch. Overall, through this whole car, I mean, we had to think way ahead. So when that came down to the chassis and ultimately the floor, the thing I wanted out of it is to be aerodynamic. I wanted to have some level of race car inspired aerodynamics under the car. So these are the front inner wheelhouses. Besides the tunnel, this is probably the most intricate piece in the floor. This is a big shrinking tool to get the dome shape that I need. I stretched it through here, and then I'm gonna shrink this and this edge here. It's gonna take a while. If I'm patient, then I won't over shrink anything and basically like make a mess of it, because the shrinks can kind of fold on top of each other if you're not careful. But really that just requires a little patience. Don't go too heavy with the machine. There are other processes you can follow, but this is as good as any. This machine's incredible. So now we've run that edge, and you can see it's got this bend from us rolling it up, and it gathered a bunch. Now we'll basically stamp right down through that bend, and because the bend's there, it can gather that easier too. You can see right now, near the edge, it has a big effect because it's dealing with less material. It's not in the middle of the panel. So what we do is we go and shrink this edge, and then we work our way back from there. It is basically grabbing the material and shoving it together. That's gonna make that radius smaller, and that's effectively what we're doing. You can see it's just a process. The shape will get there. It takes a minute, or an hour, or two. Not only am I shrinking it here on the machine, on this shrinker, but the way this works is kind of indifference. I can stretch the center, that will make it grow. Then I shrink the outsides, that makes it shrink. And that together makes the entire machine. So I'll go run the power hammer and run it through the center for the most part. Then I'll shrink the rest of this up. But to smooth it and ultimately smooth it, I'm gonna run it, all of it, through the power hammer. The fixture's built. And I've been working on the wheelhouses, the inner wheelhouses, and it's just a lot of back and forth. I mean, you gotta shrink and stretch every little piece to get it to fit the buck perfectly, and it just feels like I'm getting my miles in. You can see our line here. This is where I want the dome shape. This, I just want to be a cylinder. Instead of using a hammer, I'm using this rubber band, basically. It makes the top die soft, so this die can push the metal up inside that little bit of banding and bend it. Obviously, not enough. Still, that is so funny. I'm going back and forth from the power hammer, shrinker, stretcher. I mean, it's just been back and forth. That's all I do. It's even and it's looking okay, but just need to go more. Well, ultimately, what I'm looking for is for it to touch basically all the ribs as close to the form as possible. So, almost, and it's getting closer. I think I need a bead on it here and just kind of push the shape around. This edging here is saying that it's not great. That's not what we want. I'll probably shrink all of this a little too much so that I can hammer it back out up to the shape that I really ultimately want. More. Just needs more. Just when you thought you were done, needs more. Round 77.
So there's a lot of
Shrinking and stretching going on.
A lot of shrinking and stretching going on.
back and forth and
Back
back,
and
and forth.
back and forth. Not too bad.
Nice.
I think it fits well enough to give my freaking brain a break for a half a second. For the most part, on these floors, the panels are flat. But where we join each of the panels, we don't want just a square edge. So we're rolling the edge. Each of these pieces individually are very weak, but once we get them all put together, then, you know, it'll be a nice floor. And we do want it flat so that it just looks crazy smooth and aerodynamic. That's kind of what I'm after. So I'm just putting these simple rolls in here right now. You know, I designed all this in the computer, but I want to get it all close, kind of in the real initial fab stages here. So I'm going to get all these pieces basically put together, bent, close, and then as we join them with each piece, then we'll make sure that they're spot on and fitting the way we want to. It seems like everything I get into these days, everything is a challenge for me. I mean, nobody gives me the task that I've done before, I swear.
It's like I gotta shrink right here to get it to lay down a little bit, so. Let's go hit the shrinker. This one, once you have a flange, shrinking and stretching this edge defines what this profile does, you know? So it was teetering about right here on the panel, or on the body or whatever. So you just gotta shrink that a little bit to reduce that high spot so it can lay down. Okay, let's try that. It's not teetering there anymore, but now I'm concerned it might have a tiny bit of a gap there, so I might just stretch that out just a tiny bit to get it to relax so it's right there. It's really close though. I think this one's sitting pretty good where I like it. Doesn't feel like there's a gap or anything. I think we'll move on to the next panel. We'll start with the regular tipping wheel and define the line that I want it to tip at. Since it's on a curve like this, I gotta stretch this edge, this flange, to get it to lay down like I've done on the other side here. This one, we gotta stretch it. So there's my scribe line. Yesterday I came in here with a razor blade and just kind of scored the inside edge of all these, so that's what I have to aim for. We'll hit it again. Better. Now I'm gonna kind of persuade it to tip up a little bit by putting pressure on this as it goes through. Okay, now we can go and stretch this edge and help persuade it to tip down. This machine just smashes metal. If you have the right dies in it, it's usually gonna stretch, but if you have like the thumbnail dies in it, you can work it like the Polmax with its thumbnail dies and shrink the metal, but it's a really noisy machine. I don't prefer it for most things. That's probably good enough. Aluminum is about as forgivable as steel. Wonk, wonk. Just tipping that over. I'm gonna try it on the wheel over here though. Like if I stretch it too far, it's no problem to go back and shrink it a little bit here and there. It's not as unforgiving as you'd think. If it was a different alloy, it might be more finicky, but 3003, it's pretty malleable. You can hammer it around and it'll forgive you. It's sure nice having a mock-up body to be able to just Cleco this stuff too and know exactly where you're at. Got that high spot there. I think I might try stretching this a little bit to get it to lay down right there. Just doesn't flow quite right. After that, it should be pretty good. Go and do it on the power hammer again real quick. Well, let me doink that in and it might be just right. Yeah, you can feel it teetering right there. I think I'll just shrink a little bit right there, and then it should maybe be kind of close-ish. And then it should be good enough to move on to the next panel. Or go to lunch, whichever comes first. That's good enough. I say it's time for lunch or something.
You know, we have obviously the biggest project that Kindig-It Design has ever had, this Ridler project, but we've also got a whole shop full of cars that we still have commitments to get them done. There's Jen and Sue. Hello.
Hi.
Hey. How are you?
Good. Great to see you guys.
Hey, guys.
Oh, so good.
Today we're in Michigan. We're at our very favorite place to make paint. That is Axe Nobel, which is Sikkens, and of course my modern classic line. We're here to develop a color for a very special project. So, you know, I figured since we were here, I wanted to get with you guys. We have a really special opportunity right now to build something to go and compete at Detroit. Now, I have already kind of had an idea of doing some silvers on red interior, but
Not my
to be honest with you, well, and it may not be my favorite either. I wanted to get with Rick and maybe the guys and just see if we can develop, I want to do a special red.
Well, all of the places that you could go, this is the place to be. So everything that you guys have in Utah, we have here on a much broader, grander scale. So you guys can start, you can go in the lab, the color development, you can cocktail your own little color formulas.
I can probably come up with my own colors that might even be better than the ones you came up with.
I doubt it, but whatever.
You can make some blues, you can make some reds.
I think that we're definitely in the right place. I know that you got some wonderful people here that'll help us kind of get my vision on a panel, so we kind of figure that out, and then we'll kind of develop the rest of the colors and stuff. But I think this would be really
It's exciting.
So when we start, is this what we're gonna pick from here?
No, we're gonna go see Rick and Bob
Okay.
down in the mix room.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Let's go get creative. You know, I have a really good idea of where I want to go with this color. I know kind of the direction I want it to flop from golds and reds and so forth. I've got it down on paper, but now I got to make it actually in liquid and make it look good on a panel. Hey,
guys. Look at this. This is even cleaner than our shop.
How are you? Good seeing you.
How's it going?
Very nice to see you.
How are you?
see you.
All right, nice seeing you again.
So I have some ideas. We have this huge build that we're putting together for the Detroit Autorama. So we're going to try and build something kind of cool to go and compete. And I've had these really kind of awesome visions, I think, and we've all kind of agreed on the silver with the red interior, but the more I kind of think about it, I just want to kind of open up some options. I'm kind of thinking of actually changing gears. I'm thinking maybe in the red, something that'll pop off of the black carpet display that we're putting together. So I'd like to just kind of play around. I want to look at some different flops. I have kind of an idea of where I want to go with it, but obviously you guys are the pros, you're the paint guys.
Something other than silver, too.
Yeah, silver's not my favorite. I mean, I think it'll do, but I think there's something out there that is greater than
That'll
that.
pop. Yeah.
Yeah,
something
okay.
that'll
I
pop.
think we can figure something out.
Let's do
Far
it.
out. Let's play.
All right.
While you're here,
Yes.
we have some things for you. If you're in the booth, this one
Oh,
is
they got our names on them.
Dave.
Hey, thank you.
You want me to wear that one?
No. You can wear the Kevin one.
Tell me how official I look.
This is awesome.
Yeah, you could be one of our lab techs.
You are
I
official.
would need a clipboard.
Do you need a clipboard?
I feel like
Taking notes?
Yeah.
Anytime I'm mixing paint, really I've got kind of an idea of where I want to go with it, but of course you always stumble into those happy accidents, as we call them. So we're hoping for some really cool, happy accidents. And if nothing else, if all else fails, we just go with what I have already in my mind.
Come on back, guys. I think we got some reds we can look at. We have some blues, maybe some greens. We've got all
Can we
colors of the
actually
spectrum.
mix some stuff here?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
So here's our toners.
Very
and,
cool.
Yeah, what are you looking for?
I want to do a red, but I want some maybe the gold undertones. I want it to be a darker, almost burgundy, fine pearl, but I want a gold undertone. The more I look at that, I'm really envisioning doing the display in black. And much like my renderings, a lot of times I'll do a black background in it to make the color pop off of the page. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is I'm wondering, is the silver going to be enough with the red interior? Is there enough red to bring that out? Is the engine going to be red? And at that point, I'm like going, I don't know if I really want the engine red. So now I'm thinking red on the outside, make it more popping on the outside, and maybe doing some gold or whatever interior on the gold side of maybe browns.
All right.
So
The
I think
color's
definitely
the first
something with an
thing-
undertone of gold, I think is really where I'm kind of wanting to go.
The color is the first thing anybody sees.
Exactly.
So if, we'll try to make it pop as best we can.
Cool.
All right.
I'm in.
Let's get that kind of gold undertone first.
Okay.
And then we'll start maybe adding some burgundy or something to it till we get something how we like it.
I think this is very important because I'm not a fan of the silver, so I really need you to come through on some epic color.
So Kevin can be my mixologist. You kind of have this Darth Vader thing kind of going.
I'm doing my job. You guys need to do yours now.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear a word you said. Thank God.
You might like this too much.
So we start with gold then, and we add the red to it. You think that's the best way
I
maybe to
think
go on
that's
this?
probably the best way. We'll
cool.
keep track of it as we go along,
Yeah.
what toners we're
Do you mind
putting
if I
in.
use this?
In the weight.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that way, once we have the weight, then we can figure out how much binder to add, and now you have a complete color.
Okay. So let's go.
Let's go ahead.
What color would you suggest maybe for like a
so let's,
fine to medium gold?
Yeah, let's do one of these specialty toners. Let's try this one.
Okay. Which one's that?
That's 878 NB.
878.
That's going to give us
NB?
that gold.
That's cool.
That's a really cool color. Okay. So now let's go into the reds.
Let's give it a little bit of. Ooh, that's a little color shifting pigment there. This is red to gold. This is
Okay.
877 RA. We'll see what happens when we add a little of that.
You know what? Let's, can I
Yeah,
use
help
this mixer?
yourself.
Let's just see what this is. Is this gonna screw it up?
Look at that. Okay, that's super orange.
That's really orange. We need a lot more red.
Look at that. Okay, that's super orange.
That's really orange. We need a lot more red. Today we're in Michigan. We're at our very favorite place to make paint.
All right, so you, yeah.
Is that a translucent red that we were just using?
Yeah.
We're here to develop a color for a very special project. It's got a lot of violet to it. See that violet?
Yeah.
Which I don't hate. Let's go.
It needs more red.
You need
Let's
to
get
do
more.
more
Let's
red.
do more red. Yeah.
Okay.
I think this stuff is super potent.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right.
Mix it up.
Oh yeah. Look at that. Oh.
Look how it just took it from
Wow.
orange to red. That's all, that
Too
was
much?
only.
That's pretty. I want more red in it though.
That was only
a little bit more
0.5.
red. Or am I thinking that it needs to be more red, but maybe when it sprays out, I see a lot of red to it, but it's still really quite orange. Let's go a little bit more red. This place has all of the toys and toners to make a bitchin' color. Let's stop right there. Stop. Let's see what that is, because that's quite a bit more than what we had. Oh, look at that. That's what I'm talking. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. It'd be interesting to see what the flop is on that. I'd like to see this before we go any more red, because I don't want it too blown out, just red. I want those gold undertones, and I can see it, just that little bit of, you know, model right here.
Yeah.
See that? See, that's kind of what I'm after. Is I know obviously it's just a white, but you see how dark that burgundy is, and you get that real orange, kind of copper or gold look to it.
Yeah. You'll see that.
Can you imagine that with like a tan or brown interior? Almost like a cork. I'm gonna say, let's start with this one, and let's get some binder to it and see if we can do a spray up. Kevin's a better employee here than he is back in Salt Lake. Honestly, he's following all the directions. No more. We gotta write that down too. Hang on. It's weird. I've never seen anybody actually. Well, I've never seen him actually do that. So, dude, this is a really good training facility for him. Maybe I'll leave him here.
Hey, so are we gonna try? Or we're just gonna do one? Like?
No, I just want to see where we're at. I know we are. Yeah, well, you know what else we got to do is actually, let's spray this out. I want to see what this looks like, and then maybe we can come up with another color for the engine, drivetrain, the undercarriage stuff.
I mean, yeah, because we have all of this stuff.
I know that. It's fantastic.
There's a lot of cars out there, Kevin.
You know, baby steps. Darth Vader.
I'm excited.
Darth Kev Dog. You know, there's always a little bit of stress trying to create something new and make sure that it not only makes sense to you and your mind and what you've thought about, certainly for me, but also to make sure that other people around see that same vision and get the idea and the combinations and so forth. This was what I was originally thinking, with a kind of a reddish interior, which I think would still be, you know, nice.
It's vanilla.
But it reminds me, you know what it reminds me of? Is Johnny Martin's car, which I really loved, but it's already been kind of done silver on red.
Okay.
Right?
And then I think this was one of the first ones.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the red, and that's. Is that what you were looking for? It's
Yes.
almost like a transparent red in layman's terms over the silver.
And really, right now, the pressure's on me to create the color for this biggest project we've ever built. See how much. I'm telling you right now, that gold undertone is just gorgeous. You like that?
Yeah.
I like it.
too. See how it goes on almost like a violet side, but then it comes back up here
Well,
on the
on the
roll of
body
the body
line.
line. And it's
Yeah.
going to show depth of the body as it rolls.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the highlights will just be amplified.
Yep.
So, and this is the sageless with black.
So that's a
Added to it.
darkened sageless that
Yeah, see, look at that.
You know what we might even want to try out? We could try out with is maybe doing some different sheens with this. I like the color.
I like the color too, but I think I almost envision that being a matte finish to
We can-
offset against the red.
It's already a contrasting color, but to think about the contrasting sheens also, that would be cool.
Well, yeah, and I think that definitely this would be a great accent color with the browns. You know, looking at all of these killer swatches under the sunlight, this really has given me a new breath of fresh air. I'm really in love with this. I think this is definitely, something to continue to explore. I want to probably draw it up and just see for sure.
Okay, so is it swaying you?
Oh, I'm very much swayed. Because
Well,
like I said, I like this color, but I just think it's been, you know, a red on the interior with this color. It's a great combination, but I think that this would stand off of the black background more. A red Corvette, it's kind of telltale, you know? Definitely a tan interior, I think is gonna go really good with this, and I'd love to see what this looks like in a matte finish next to that, but I'm already convinced that that's just a great color.
I know, I agree. And I am super pumped, again, because like I told you, this is a great color, but to me, this is like vanilla. This is the norm. This is the same, right? This is exciting.
Yeah.
I think.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's get back and you can do. I'll do some doodles. I'll do some doodles.
Okay, doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Okay.
Rick, thanks so much for your help.
Rick.
Bob, thank you very much.
Yeah,
you guys have been
absolutely.
awesome. Can I take those with me?
Sure can.
You
Yeah,
don't need those?
No, don't need
Cool.
them.
All right, let's pack those. Think we got it. I cannot wait to get back and start painting this car.
Playing with the hood, trying to tip these flanges. I got the shape of the hood all dialed in from the old fiberglass hood. This is probably one of the last pieces on the front end. For now, I'm just making a nice sharp edge out of it. Then we'll go shrink and stretch the corners to get it exactly the profile that I'm after. I'm gonna go around, get this edge nice and 90 degrees, nice and sharp. I made a couple templates to help me out with the profile. So I made this to the actual hood so I can just sit it on here. So it's hard when this is sitting on the hood to tell what gap is in there, you know? So I can see there's a gap there. I just need to shrink this edge to get it to come up and meet that. Makes it a nifty little tool to get the profile right there. Made it for the front and the rear. Progress, yep. One smack at a time.
You know, honestly, to get all of this stuff done in a reasonable amount of time, I think we're gonna have to kind of divide and conquer.
I think I have these top roof panels fitting really well. Got the edges all tipped in where I like them. It's touching. I went along and did reference marks of how it fit together and how to line it up. So I think I just need to weld it together. No more excuses not to. I don't know if I'm nervous, just or overly cautious, I don't know. Seems like a big irreversible step. You want to clean the aluminum with a clean stainless brush. Just get all that oxidation off of it so you have a nicer weld.
I wanted to come up with something that was different from what we normally build and paid homage to other supercars or American sports cars. And I thought of the Viper. I thought that was a perfect thing on the GTS roof where it had just that little bit of lump over the driver and passenger.
Aluminum, you want to weld it on AC. For this stuff, it's fairly thin. You want to be careful not to put too much heat into it or blow through or anything like that.
Or just how slippery like the roof line on that car and just how it cascades down to the bottom.
Welding it closed the gap, but I'm gonna open it back up a touch. So you can smack that tack weld and open that gap back up to where you want it. Let's test fit it really quick. It's already pretty strong. Fitting pretty decent. You see how you can kind of doink it down. We'll finalize that when it's all welded up. But first two pieces tacked together.
There's so many things going on with that shape.
You have the windows that have to meet up at a certain point. You have the top of the windshield that has to meet the roof at a certain point. And then you have this, and then you throw the bubble on top of it, which I call, you know, the double bubble, and then you're running it through the windshield, and then you wanted the back windows a certain way. So, I mean, there was just endless amounts of thinking about it, and what are we gonna do, and how are we gonna finish this off, and how is it all gonna tie together?
Time to move on to some more panels. The rear upper trunks, deck lid. Okay, now it's S-fit. Looking to see that it doesn't just fall right off. And it actually follows the lines pretty close, so that's a little reassuring. And this guy, I got these two pieces welded together, all the welds smoothed out. This car isn't perfectly symmetric. That buck is, so there's gonna be a little bit of massaging to get it to fit that perfectly. That looks pretty good there. Just a little bit of a battle getting everything to tie together right. The only thing I'm slightly nervous of is if I weld it together, will I be able to get this whole section off to be able to finish welding it off the bench and finish it all out.
We're wanting this car to be a unibody. We don't want a chassis under the car. The best way to go to that extreme is basically have the chassis structure inside the body.
We're building a bobsled.
We don't really know what we're looking at yet. We got some rudimentary maps here. What we got laid out right here on the ground is more or less the puzzle. We're just gonna start standing things up and making our best shot of it, and we'll go from there. A little more. Should check side to side and see how close we are. I got 90.5. It's a modern chassis. It's all kind of gonna play off each other. 90 and 7/8, 90 and 5/8, 90 and 11/16. It was built in the computer, so technically it should go together, but in real life it's a little different. So we're gonna use our eyeballs and maybe a laser and some measuring tapes and some shims and see what we can come up with.
Think we're good?
Do we want to start tacking stuff at all, or?
I think we should tack this square, and then we could take the clamps off and use them for the rest. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Well, the main chassis structure is all 3/8 aluminum. Stout, but not too rigid.
And what's the reason that you use 50-52?
It's just tougher.
That's tougher?
Yeah. It's just that what we needed to do was like absorb impact.
Or like a more structural, so something that's not gonna work hard in over time and break. That's cool.
What is this thing?
They haven't showed you what it goes to?
I thought it was gonna be a stegosaurus when we were done, but.
You know what it is, dude. That's the firewall support. Look, there's the back seat. I look at it as like a parade float. You have this structure that drives the car, and then you just build this beautiful thing around it. There's a lot of room in this car. Crazy, dude. How much does this weigh? Do you know, if you guys know? Is it heavy to move around?
300 pounds done when this whole thing's together.
Get all your hammer strikes out when Will's not here.
I think this one's supposed to stay the same distance here. That looks more like the picture, but I don't like it. It's weird because for how close everything else has been, for this to be this far off doesn't make sense. but it works on the computer. So this thing's really important to make sure that everything's exactly the way that it was designed, because so many different things that come after this rely on it. So we're taking our time to make sure that everything's 90 or square or 100%, whatever Will designed.
Oh, I saw the flame in that one.
Smell that?
Now that we got the whole structure tacked together, we can start doing all the final welding. Stitching it so it's all MIG weld, so it gets pretty hot. And then how thick this is, it's got to be turned up quite high. I want to weld everything all the way around so we can get welds behind them and in front of them. I'm just going back and forth and trying to keep everything symmetrical so the heat can distribute evenly throughout the part.
If you don't build cars, you don't know, but you know, you spend all day trying to make these things perfect, and they move.
Yeah.
They move around.
Oh, they do all the time.
Cars move around. They change, they shift.
The temperature.
They bend, the temperature changes them. You think that this is a piece of metal and it stays the exact same shape the whole time. Well,
absolutely.
it does not.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool.
It's really cool, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
It's like we're gonna go to Mars.
It's like you've been to Mars.
As soon as we're done with the car, we're gonna take it to Mars.
What are we looking at here, Will?
This is kind of our version of a mono chassis, I guess you'd say, almost from early like Can-Am Indy cars.
So this basically is the main structure for the car. So we've got the skin.
The exterior skin and the floor structure, basically kind of unibody, but exterior shell like the egg. Then this hides inside all that shell and picks up the engine and the transmission all tied to this.
So when you're done, we'll have a rolling unit that can be rolled underneath and creates the structure with this.
Yes.
In the floor with the shell of the body on top.
Yes. Pretty wild.
Yeah, this is awesome.
We're gonna brush it up and clean it up and make it look all pretty, and then it's gonna get buried.
Right. Let's get to burying it. That's gonna be cool though.
I know, it's wild, huh?
That's some next level stuff. Do we say next level a lot? Are we gonna change the name of our TV show now to Next Level?
No,
okay.
We're not gonna do that.
Come on, let's go.
Okay.
Masterpiece.
Now I'm getting chills. Now I can start to really see the car come to life.
We're welding the chassis to the floor. This is the point of no return. There you go. Yeah, this looks pretty good side to side now.
The rest of the aesthetic stuff, that's really where you kind of make compromises. Don't let Dave hear me say that.
Once we scan this, then it'll all be in the computer and we can reference it whenever we need.
Yo, Mad Max, Steve, come give us a hand, will ya?
Pop it on for the last time and weld it up.
On for good?
Hopefully. 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah, I'm gonna start to lift the rear end a little.
Right there is about as far as we can go.
If we go up, can we go a little more forward, Will? No.
This is gonna be really hard painted.
She smokes.
We're stuck on the fixture. Right there is about as far as we can go. Are we hitting stuff up there?
Yeah.
Wow. That is incredible.